Hey you guys. Okay, so today we're gonna be doing calculation on Boyle's law. So let's go ahead and get started with the first one. Calculate the volume of a gas whose initial value. Okay, so right off the bat, really here we're gonna have to think about what's the unknown, and the unknown obviously is gonna be your volume. Okay, so calculate the volume of a gas whose initial value is 20 liters. So now on 20 liters, now it started at 20 liters. Okay, so it would be, so this would be your 20 liters. So first you need to write down all the numbers. And this 20 liters, has this is the initial, that will be volume, because liters, anything that says liters, that will be your volume. So if it's saying initial, that means that will be your V1. Okay, so that is your V1. So at 1.0 atm, so this V1 is at this pressure. So it will be 1.0 atm, which is your P1. Okay, so again, this goes together. They're usually together. You have to read it carefully. And then now this is compressed. So they press it in. Compress means press, right? Think of it as press to a pressure, right? Press of 2.0 atm. So here this was the second pressure. Okay, that will be 2.0 atm. Okay, and of course calculate the volume, right? After it was compressed. Okay, so calculate the volume of the gas who started off at this amount. So that's why this is V1 and P1. Okay, and then later was compressed to 2.0 atm. So they want to know what's the volume in here at the, so let's go ahead and put that as a V2, and it will be, we don't know it. That's your unknown. Okay, so we're going to keep that as a letter. Okay, we're going to, as a symbol. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at our equation. Our equation says that P1, the pressure and the volume, the initial pressure and the initial volume, you multiply it, and that should equal to basically the final pressure times the final volume. Okay, so now we're ready to just plug it in. Now keep in mind this is multiplication, that's multiplication, right? Okay, so let's start by plugging it in. Since we have our P1, we're going to go ahead and start by putting 1.0 atm, that will be here, and you multiply it by V1, which is 20 liters, okay, and that will equal to P2. P2 would be the 2.0 atm, and of course you multiply it by V2. So we're going to keep this as a letter because that's the one we need to solve. So we're going to put that as V2. Okay, so now the rules again is, if you all, you want to isolate your unknown. You want to keep it by itself on the other side of the equal sign. You want to have it by itself. So how do you do that? Well, you look at the math. This is multiplication, and what is the opposite of multiplication? It is division. If it's adding, then it will be subtracting. If it's subtracting, and then it will be adding. If it's division, then it will be multiplying. Okay, so this is just very simple. This is multiplying, so we're gonna divide. Okay, and we need to move the 2.0 atm. Okay, we want to leave the V2 alone because that's your unknown. And in this circumstances, we need to move that to the other side. Okay, how do we do that again? Is do the opposite. So we divide to 2.0 atm, and then you do the same thing to the other side, 2.0 ATM, and then basically that, if you really think about it, I mean that's just one. Okay, so this we just cancel it. Okay, so now we're ready with our V2. Our V2 is isolated. That's what we needed. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and put our equal sign, and then 1.0 times uh, 20, well, obviously it's 20, and then divided by 2.0. Okay, that would give us V2 would give us um, 20 divided by 2.0, that would be 10 liters. And that is your answer. That's how it started off. Okay, so, well, I'm sorry, that's how it ended up. Okay, because this one, it started with 20 liters at 1.8 atm pressure, and then you compress it, and the pressure is at 2.0 atm. So the volume will be at 10 liters.